Welcome to my first impressions and tech analysis video of the Razer Edge gaming tablet. Yes, I am running Battlefield 3 natively on this tablet and not streaming it. The Razer Edge is easily disregarded by hardcore gamers. Most think of tablet gaming as playing Angry Birds, Plants vs. Zombies, or Temple Run. The Edge is not running on an ARM processor like Snapdragon or Tegra, and it's not running a mobile OS like iOS or Android. This tablet has GeForce graphics, an Intel CPU, and full desktop Windows 8. Say what you will about Razer peripherals, but you have to admit that Razer has designed extremely innovative products since its inception. I don't want to call this video my definitive review because I want to have at least 1 month total usage on this tablet, which I feel is long enough to determine how well this tablet integrates into my everyday life instead of forcing myself to use it. Also, I want to write my final review in a very formal journalistic fashion, which you guys may have noticed a little bit in some of my other videos. I got this tablet because first I needed an electronics fix because working with electronics is like a drug for me. Also, I've been in the market for a new laptop. This is my old laptop that I got as a gift for my first year of college, so you have an idea of how old it is. It's an HP model with beast specs. Actually, not really. It has an AMD dual-core turbine processor, but at least it has a discrete GPU, the NVIDIA GT 8200S. The most graphically intense game I can run on this baby is Oblivion. For years, I played the Half-Life Quake engine games like CS 1.6 and Day of Defeat. I wanted a new laptop not for gaming, but to stay productive on the go. My current laptop is good enough for regular media like internet and Netflix, but staggers on more system-intensive tasks like Sony Vegas. The Razer Edge caught my eye because it has full desktop PC functionality and a tablet form factor. This is an area of technology where I wanted to test the waters. Ever since the Surface Pro was released, tablets are becoming viable laptop replacements because you have full desktop PC functionality wherever you go. Let's take a look at all the hardware specifications. The Edge is powered by a dual-core, quad-thread 1.9 GHz base and 2.7 GHz boost i5-3317U, the U standing for ultra-low voltage. The GPU is an NVIDIA GT 640M LE, which is still gaming grade but not powerful enough for the GTX designation. Here is a size comparison to the iPad. Unfortunately, I don't have a Surface Pro on hand, which I feel is the closest and most relevant comparison. The Razer Edge has a display of 1366 by 768, which prevents it from competing with other tablets for general media computing, like watching videos or sharing photos. The iPad wins in display quality so much that it's not even close. Apple places display quality very high up in its design priorities, and their products will always be in the top 3 in display quality for each product tier. Just to show you how much of a step down the visuals are, here is a 1080p Emma Watson Chrome theme displayed natively on both devices. I don't have the screwdriver to remove the case, but I've seen some pictures of the internals. The processors are in the middle, and 2 large heat pipes run towards the right of the device, which uses a fan to drive heat out of the system. The left side is an intake, so there is an odd sensation when holding the tablet because of the heat discrepancy. There is a noticeable but not annoying fan whisper when using the tablet to do even light tasks like Netflix. I know Linus talks a lot about quiet optimized computing, but for my desktop PC, quiet computing isn't something that I personally value because while gaming I have my headset on. For tablets and laptops though, quiet is important to me. I don't know why, I guess I'm just quirky like that. When I was in school, taking my laptop to the library annoyed the hell out of people because just running Microsoft Office gave my CPU cooler a workout. The top has the power button, a dedicated keyboard button, a screen rotation lock, volume adjustment, a headphone and mic input, and a USB 3.0 port. The bottom has a proprietary connector for the 65-watt power supply and additional peripherals such as the Gamepad controller. The controller is purchased separately from the tablet, which makes the price of the tablet itself very misleading, as having the Gamepad controller is near 100% obligatory to reach the full potential of the tablet, just as how the keyboard attachment is so crucial to unlocking a better user experience with the Surface Pro. The Gamepad interfaces with the tablet through the power port, and you can add an additional battery, which is also a separate purchase. This adds about 1 hour of gaming time and 2 hours of average computing for a total battery life of 2 and 6.5 hours respectively. The build of the controller is fantastic, except for the bumper buttons, which can sometimes stick during decompression as they are membraned and not mechanical, but my usage experience has been mediocre. It feels like a Wii U gamepad. I don't have a problem with my hands being so far apart, but the A button is a somewhat painful reach from the thumbstick, and it's difficult to replicate the same angle of approach from my hand to the thumbstick as that of an Xbox 360 controller. The final first-party accessory currently available is the docking station, which gives you more USB ports, USB 2.0 ports, and an HDMI out. I think this accessory is the most important for those looking for productivity and a laptop replacement. As for storage, the Edge uses a 256GB SSD connected by mSATA instead of SATA 3. The Edge i5 model doesn't come with a 256GB option, but I got my Edge secondhand from eBay, and the previous user upgraded his from 64 to 256 gigs, which is the more cost-effective way to get more storage. The 256 gig Edge Pro model costs $1,450 compared to the i5 model, let's call it the Edge Noob, which costs only $1,000. So my Edge isn't a Pro with the i7, but it's certainly stronger than a Noob. What's between a Noob and a Pro? Let's call it an Edge Tryhard. Upgrading yourself after spending $200 or so on an mSATA SSD is a far better deal because the difference between an i5 3317U and an i7 3517U is only 300 MHz of boost. He also upgraded the RAM to 10 total gigabytes. I'm curious as to why he thought to upgrade RAM, because you will get to the top of your GPU and CPU before you reach the top of your RAM. An equally valid question is why not? Because RAM isn't that expensive and you already opened the case. When I first booted up my Edge, I noticed the previous owner was a big fan of emulators because he had a lot of ROMs and old console BIOS, but I had to remove a lot of adware and junk processes. I'm going to go on a tangent rant here. I hate it when people blame AMD or Nvidia for their drivers crashing games when they don't know how to keep a clean system. Even if you have antivirus like Microsoft Security Essentials or Bitdefender, the most effective antivirus is common sense. As a content creator on YouTube who has been grilled by networks to understand copyright, I advocate legally obtaining software licenses. But for those who choose alternative methods, please be careful with your downloads. You don't want malware interfering with your games. Rant over. Overall, the Edge is a head-turner. I am extremely impressed by what it can do. Everyone I've shown it to has been wowed. Even those who don't play games recognize how much power is in this tablet.
I find myself using the Edge every day when I'm away from home. I'm only playing Battlefield now for demonstration purposes, but I don't play it when I'm on the go because the Edge only has Wi-Fi and you have to launch Battlefield through Battlelog. I only play Borderlands 2 and Burnout Paradise, but I have a lot of other games on my backlist to get through that my desktop is overkill to use to play. It is a huge contrast going from playing on a high-end desktop to a system that's, in relative terms, chugging along. I will have my final thoughts and definitive review in a later video. Thank you very much for having watched this video all the way through. I'd appreciate it if you leave a like rating if I was helpful. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. My name's David, and I'll see you next video.